How's it going, guys? I'm Trexo and I'm your coach of the Indianapolis Cobalions, and we are here for our draft analysis. Finally, I'm getting time to do this. But anyways, let's hop right into it. Let's go over a few basic things before we hop into the draft analysis. I had the second overall pick in the draft, and it was Snake. So I'd have the second pick, and then I would have the 15th pick, and then so they rotate each time, so there's no confusion on how the picks worked. I don't think that'll really matter for the draft analysis, but I figured I would clear it up either way. But anyways, with all of that shenanigans out of the way, let's hop into our first pick and why I picked it. So our first pick was the Chelsealeo here. As you can see, nice in HD, shiny sprite. Pretty hype, I know, they look beautiful. I've never used them before, it's my first video having them, so I'm actually pretty excited. But anyways, let's go over the team now. So we have the Chelsealeo here, and I think it's pretty obvious why you would choose Chelsealeo. If it's on the board, it's like probably arguably the best mon, in my opinion, in draft format or Smogon or whatever you want to say it. It's my personal favorite mon to use. So that's why I drafted it. I hoped, when I saw I had the second pick, I hoped and prayed that it would fall into my hands, and luckily it did. So we're rocking out with that base stat, 97 HP, 101 attack, 103 defense, 107 special attack, 101 speed def, and 61 in speed. So actually, let me make sure that's accurate, because I have a nature on this showdown thing. So let me make sure there's no nature. Okay, yeah, everything's still the same. Alright, just wanted to make sure I wasn't messing anything up. And this move pool, you can just run sub-seed with it and just sit there and not die. You can run offensive with it if you want. You can run, it's such a versatile mon. It has access to recovery with the leech seed and leftovers plus sub. It's really nice. It has protect. It has a variety of move pool. It has toxic superpowers and headbutt. Facade, Earthquake, Totemize, Double Edge, Heavy Slam, Air Slash, Acrobatics, Explosion, I don't know if I said that, Energy Ball, also has access to Flame Charge, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, EQ, I just said EQ, but Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Giga Drain, Grass Knot. It has a ton of different options. Whatever you want to run, you can pretty much run anything to fit the team that you need to fill. And that is honestly my favorite thing about Chelsealeo, is just it's such a versatile mon with access to Beast Boost, where you can literally there's a possibility there's a possibility to boost 4 different stats for team prep. That just makes it ridiculous to try to plan for if you have 4 different stats that could potentially be boosted every time it gets a kill. So that's why I drafted Chelsealeo. Moving on to my next pick, I actually drafted Mega Altaria next. And the reason I drafted Mega Altaria is like, alright, I've got the Chelsealeo, I want to pair my Mega Evolution with it, so it synergizes perfectly. And I had 2 options. I had the Mega Venusaur, which is one option, which got actually picked 2 picks before mine, so I got sniped there, unfortunately. And then I also had Mega Altaria. I'd much rather have had the Venusaur. I feel like that would work a lot better with the thick fat and the poison resist, and ice resist. It would have been really nice, but Mega Altaria is also an amazing mon that synergizes so well with the Chelsealeo. We get a Dragon Steel Fairy. I felt it's supposed to say Fairy Dragon Steel. I said Dragon Fairy, so that's messing me up. So we have the Fairy Dragon Steel core with this Celi and the Mega Alt. And Mega Altaria is probably my favorite. Mega, easy money. I know Mega Swamper's a thing, but easy money. Mega Altaria is amazing with such good stats, even though it does not get a boost to its speed stat. Actually, I think it might get lowered. No, it's the exact same, okay. But with these stats, it has 75 HP, 110 from attack through special attack, and then 105 in speed def. It is very fat, and it hits very strong with access to setup on both sides of the field with Cotton Guard as well as Dragon Dance. I'm pretty sure it has Calm Mind as well. Does it have Calm Mind? It does not have Calm Mind, never mind. Also has access to great utility with Haze, Heal Bell, and Defog. Also has Hone Claws, did not mention that one. As Hone Claws, also has the Perish Song, so when it's set up on you can just click Perish Song and you are good to go. It has the Roar, the Ruse, the Sub, Tailwind. It is such a wide move pool and such a great mon that you can run, much like Chelsealeo. You can run them both. You can run either physical or special, defensive, offensive, whatever you want to do with it, you can do with it. And with the pixelate ability, even though with the nerf, it still makes Hyper Voice extremely strong. It makes the Body Slam much stronger. It makes the, what else does we have here that I can mention? Has, I'm trying to see, I'm pretty sure it gets double edge. That'll also help you out, and as well as, let me see here. I think that's the main things. If you want to be that guy on Giga Impact Mega Altaria, you can do it. Fairy Mega Giga Impact is gonna run through any dragon type you may encounter, so that's pretty nice for it. But overall, Mega Altaria and Chelsealeo is a great synergy to start off my draft. And then with my next pick, I wanted to just completely go bulk. I decided, I was like, this might have been a bad decision hindsight, but I decided to go, you know what, we're just gonna go straight bulk for the rest of the draft and see how it goes. So our next pick was Umbreon. If you want to hate me for it, feel free, I understand. We did draft the Umbreon. Now, I don't think I need to explain why Umbreon is good. It just sits there, it doesn't die, it has access to the Synchronize ability, so if you get toxic, so is the opponent, they can just heal battle it right off, so you're not toxic anymore. Also has access to Foul Play, Baton Pass, which you can't Baton Pass in this league, just no speed stat. Just thought we would clear that up right away. You can Baton Pass, but no speed stat. Ugh, no speed passing or Shell Smash passing or any of that. Well, I guess you wouldn't be able to pass Shell Smash because it is a speed. So that was redundant. Either way, let's go over these base stats. We have 95 HP, 65 attack, 110 defense, 60 special attack, 130 speed def, and 65 speed. And the move pool is pretty generic with the Hyper Voice, Moonlight, Protect, Heal Bell, Wish, Wish Protect, Sucker Punch, Taunt, Toxic Wish, Body Slam, Detect. If you want to run Detect, Protect, I don't know if you can do that actually, but if you can, then you can do that. You also have access to Foul Play. I want to see if you have the you do have the guard swap, so if you want to for some reason put your defenses on another mon, you can do it. But I don't see why you would want to do that, but you can. It has access to Last Resort, Mean Look, if you want Toxic, Mean Look, Protect. Oh, that's a dirty set. That with Wish as well. Oh, that is a dirty set. Oh my goodness. Yikes. There's also access to Psych Up, so someone's trying to set up on you, you can Psych it up and Baton Pass it right off. The Store Power as well, if you want to run Psych Up Store Power, it is a pretty decent set. You also have the Synchronize if you're, I guess that wouldn't be useful against a Dark type. If you have a mon like an X-Cloud, you're going up against an X-Cloud, you can run the Throat Chop, or if you're going to something like a Mega Altaria, you could also go with the Throat Chop. Any of those sound-based mons you can use Throat Chop on, and then they cannot use those moves. There's also the One Room, which switches your opponents, or the entire team. The defense and special defense stats switch, that's for the entire game, not just you. You also have, if you want to run Workup Passing, you can do that. You have the Yawn, Zap Cannon. If you want to be wild and try and hit a Zap Cannon, get that 100% para and risk the miss. Whatever you want to do, Umbreon can pretty much do it. It's just a tank, it sits here, it eats hits, and that's pretty much its calling card. Now next up, we did draft Amoonguss, and this was the start of our Regenerator core. So let me find Amoonguss, here it is. So here's Amoonguss, and Amoonguss, what does Amoonguss do? It sits there, it spores or toxic things, it regenerates its health. It can absorb your spikes. Someone set up them toxic spikes. You can also clear smog away any sort of setting up your opponent wants to do. You can sit there and Pika Drain as it toxic stalls you. It just sits here and it's really hard to kill if it's got the right EVs. With 114 base HP, it is very fat. It does not like to die, especially with that regenerator. It helps out a ton. So that's really it for Amoonguss. It's just like part of my regenerator core. The other part is Alomomola. We also have access to regenerators. Other abilities are healer and hydration, which probably wouldn't use, but regenerator is pretty nice. With access to moves like Aqua Jet, the Calm Mind sets, if you want to run a Calm Mind to boost up that defense stat, which is a measly 45. You can also run the knockoff Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, Healing Wish, Liquidation if you want to run it, Pain Split, Protect, Psychic, Refresh, Rest, Skull, Shadow Ball, Sub, Toxic, Waterfall, Wish. Surf has, it's just basically just another Wish Passer, much like Umbreon, with the ability to set up if you want to use it for offense. If you wanted to, I don't think it's a good idea to do it, but you can do it with a base stat of 165 in HP, 75 attack, 80 in defense, 40 in special attack, 45 in speed up, and 65 in speed. Now at this point I realized that, hey, this draft is kind of lackluster at this point. I need to start drafting some firepower. So with my next pick, I did decide to go with the Mamoswine, I believe. I drafted Mamoswine. I don't have like my direct order up right now. I just have like my entire team in the layout. You can see that's not in the right order that I drafted. That's just how they fit into the tiers. So, but I do believe I drafted Mamoswine next. And if you wanna consider why we drafted Mamoswine, it was for it. We have quite a decent weakness to electricity with no real counter besides Amoonguss. So we drafted Mamoswine, who can just sit here and click EQ and knock out pretty much every electric type in the game. It's also a rocker for us with a decent HP stat at 110 and an amazing attack stat at 130. It can just run through teams. If you get a late game, you can set up the Choice Scarf sweep with Mamoswine. I would go for it because you can get that off and you're gonna be doing damage. You're gonna be doing a lot of it with a moveset with access to Priority and Ice Shard, or Rocks and Stealth Rock, with also Avalanche if you want to run a trick, or if you want to run slow and kind of more bulky, you can also run the Avalanche. If someone hits you, you can send them back for a 120 damage Avalanche, which is pretty nice. Also has access to Endeavor Earthquake, so if you want to run Endeavor Ice Shard, you can do it. If you want to be that guy, you can definitely run it. You can also run Facade. We have Hidden Power, obviously, the Ice Fang, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Icicle Spear, Ice. And you also have access to Iron Head for them fairy types. So you have the knockoff, which is very nice. You have access to screens. You have access to Roar as well. Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, Sub, Superpower, Toxic. Pretty solid offensive mom for you. Not gonna really be taking too many hits, but you can live a few if need be. But Mamoswine is here just to kind of kill things. This is my revenge killer, I guess, or my not revenge killer. Just here for offensive pressure is why I drafted it. The next up, we grabbed Thunderous Therian form, who is our Z captain. Oh, I don't think I need to explain why we drafted this thing. It basically uses an electric immunity with Volt Absorb, with an amazing move pool, amazing stats, 145 base special attack with 101 SPDF and 80 SPDF, 70 defense, 105 attack and 79 HP. If you want to run physical, you can, even though it'd be kind of dumb to do it in my opinion. But we have also, oh, I didn't even switch my Mon, so I forgot to switch my Mons there. Apologize. So let's take a look at Mamoswine's sprite real quick, just because we can. There we go. Then let's pull up Thunders. There we go. Alright, I apologize, I forgot to do that. But anyways, let's go over these moves. We do have lots of moves here with access to Double Dance and Agility and Nasty Plot. We also have access to Bulk Up, Brick Break, Dark Pulse, Defog, Discharge, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Hammer Arm, Knockoff, Psychic, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Superpower. You can also run the Taunt and Sub if you want. It's a very, 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 very versatile Mon. And with the Volt Absorb, it fit perfectly with our team with that electric weakness that was forming. So I think it's gonna help us. It's also our Z captain, so we can kill we can nuke pretty much anything in the game. Unless you're running max HP, max special defense on like in the Jellicent, we're pretty much nuking everything in the game. Even the Jellicent's not gonna live that. Come on now. I don't know why I mentioned Jellicent, but whatever. Whatever. I think we know what this thing's here for. It's here to kill. And that's just a revenge killer. You can run Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, Z Crystal, Life Orb. You can run, I don't even know what else you could run. Lots of other options. We can run Assault Vest if we wanted to. If we really, really wanted to, we could do it. There's lots of options here, which is why I drafted it as our main offensive weapon. Then next up, we have the Cryogonal. Now, Cryogonal is interesting pick to say the least. Cryogonal is here mainly as a spinner, and also as a fast Mon that has extremely high special defense and decent HP stat and a decent special attack with 95 special attack, 105 speed, 135 SPDF, and 80 HP. The move pool also has a levitate ability, so we have immunity to ground types here. It has access to Aurora Veil for in the Hail. It also has access to the Fog, the Rapid Spin, the Haze, the Knockoff. Has access to Screens, the Magic Coat, has Recover, and Toxic Sub. Then this move pool is not the greatest, but does have those moves that make it definitely viable in this format. It has some must-need moves to make the mons that aren't as viable normally, make them viable with the Defog, Rapid Spin. What else? The Haze, the Ice Beam, Flash Cannon, Aurora Veil for running against a Hail team. We can run the Aurora Veil if we want to, which I don't think anyone drafted a Hail Setter, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. But it is a thing. It is a thing. Could be a thing. If we want to run Hail Aurora Veil, we could do it. I don't think I would, though, because I have to run, like, safety goggles on all my mons. Not safety goggles. I have to run, like... What's that item that prevents damage from item? Weather. It might be the safety goggles, actually. Yeah, it is safety goggles. So I have to run, like, all my mons with safety goggles, and then Aurora Veil, Cryogonal. That could be a thing. Who knows? Watch out for it. Next up, we have Shiftry. Where is Shiftry? Right here it is. Alright, so Shiftry's up next. Now, Shiftry is just here as a utility mon. If I want to run offensive Shiftry, I can. With access to the Chlorophyll, Early Bird, Pickpocket. I can also run a Pseudo Sun team here with the Shiftry Houndoom if I wanted to. But Shiftry also has access to the Fog as the Fake Out, Knockoff, Leech Seed, Nasty Plot for a setup, I believe. Did you have Nasty Plot, do you? I could have sworn you did. Yeah, you do. Also has access to Power Up Punch. We run on physical. We have access to Leaf Storm, Leech Seed, Hurricane, Giga Drain, Grass Knot, Focus Blast, Sensory, Dark Pulse, Seed Bomb, Shadow Ball, Sucker Punch, Sword Stance. So you can run physical or special, except either way. With also has access to the Tailwind, the Whirlwind, the Toxic, Synthesis. So this is just another one of those versatile mons I could run any way I wanted to, really. With that, actually, I thought it was a little bit faster than it is. It only has base 80 speed, so that can be a bit of a problem. So the Tailwind is definitely going to be helpful, though. The Tailwind will definitely be helpful for us. And with a generally slow team, the Tailwind should help us get that extra speed we need against those pesky 115, 110 base speed mons that we're going to be going up against pretty much every week. Anyways, moving on to Houndoom. Let's see here. Where's my Houndoom sprite at? Here it is. Boom. There we go. Let's check out Houndoom. We have the Solar Power. It would be nice if Solar Power, Flash Fire. Oh, wait, no. Solar Power is only available on Mega Houndoom. I apologize for that. But with a very, very solid special attack stat at 110 with 95 speed, this thing is like a glass cannon, but it can still hit pretty hard with the Dark Pulse. You can also run Destiny Bond if need be. Has access to the Flamethrower, Fire Blast, obviously the Heat Wave, the Dark Pulse, Hyper Voice, Nasty Plot, Overheat, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Sucker Punch, Toxic, Willow, Taunt, Roar. That's pretty much it for the notable moves, but with the base 110 special attack and 95 speed, it's got a decent speed tier and can also dish out a lot of damage after one Nasty Plot. So it is a pretty solid special sweeper in the game. If you need to come and clean up a few kills, it probably could do it for you, especially if you run Specs or Scarf. It'll definitely be good to come in and be a revenge killer, among other things. So that's it for Houndoom. It's just kind of a filler pick so I could get a fire type stab on the team. It's really probably the whole reason I drafted it, honestly. Well, let's move on to our final pick, who was the Lantern. Now, why would I pick a Lantern? What can Lantern do for me? It gives me a water absorb immunity for the Mamoswine and the Houndoom, but it also gives me electric immunity. If I don't want to bring Thunderous Therian, I can run Lantern Volt Absorb, and then we have another electric immunity on the team, on top of the Mamoswine and Thunderous Therian. I really deter my opponents from bringing the electric types for Celesteela, which pretty much lets Celesteela roam free against pretty much everyone, which is very, very nice for me. It gives us a nice psychological, I guess, advantage there. I don't want to sound like narcissistic there, but I just like how the mind games that plays by having the Volt Absorb or Water Absorb is very nice, and then having multiple options to help Celesteela's weaknesses. So that is a draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to check out the UBL channel. There should be a card for it on screen right about now. And be sure to check out all the other coaches in the UBL and subscribe to the other coaches. And be sure to join the UBL Discord. It's all linked down below. But anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go out of here. Thank you guys for checking out today's video. I am out of here. See you guys next time. Peace.